The identity of the man in the iron mask. Have you ever heard of the man in the iron mask? Yeah, one of history's greatest mysteries that still puzzles experts and curious minds today. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and watch the video until the end. We will have a lot of content you've never heard before. Who was this mysterious prisoner who spent decades locked away in secrecy, hiding his face even from his own shadow? Many say he could have been a lost brother of French royalty, or perhaps someone who knew secrets too dangerous to be revealed. What is known is that he wore an iron mask to conceal his identity, but the real reason has never been officially disclosed. This story is marked by false rumors, conspiracy theories, and plenty of suspense. The man in the iron mask became a symbol of the secrets power tries to hide from the public, and the mystery remains alive even today. But what really fascinates us is imagining who he might have been. Was he someone too important to be freed? Or just an ordinary prisoner hidden for political reasons? The fact is, the history we know never told the whole truth. Lost civilizations that disappeared without explanation. Have you ever stopped to think that entire civilizations simply vanished from the face of the earth? Nothing remains but ruins and a few clues, yet the reasons behind these disappearances remain mysteries that challenge archaeologists and historians to this day. A classic example is the Mayans, who at their peak ruled vast areas of Central America, an advanced people with mathematics, magnificent architecture, and a complex calendar. Around 900 AD, their great cities were suddenly abandoned. Wars, climate change causing severe famine, and perhaps even resource exhaustion may have contributed to the collapse, but no definitive answer exists. On the other side of the world, the Khmer Empire, famous for cities like Angkor with millions of inhabitants, disappeared beneath the dense tropical jungle. Experts still don't know whether wars, environmental disasters, or other factors made them succumb. And we can't forget the mysterious ancestral Puebloans, who built cliff dwellings in the United States and vanished overnight. The disappearance of such great cultures reminds us that humanity's history holds more secrets than we often admit. Imagine what else might be buried and forgotten, waiting to be discovered. The truth behind the mysteries of the pyramids. When we think about the Egyptian pyramids, the first thing that comes to mind is giant tombs built by slaves. But the truth is much more complex and fascinating. The pyramids were not just tombs, they functioned as cosmic gateways, special spaces created for the pharaoh's spirit, the Ka, to dwell eternally. Inside them, there were secret chambers with statues that held the essence of the king, and tunnels aligned with stars like Orion's belt, guiding the soul's passage to the sky. There are also mysterious rooms, like the Queen's Chamber, whose exact purpose remains unknown, with hidden stone doors behind narrow shafts, true enigmas to this day. Additionally, in 2017, the Big Void was discovered inside the Great Pyramid, a huge area about 30 meters long that remains a mystery, with theories ranging from secret burial chambers to weight-balancing structures. And the secret doors. Some move like bookshelves, weighing 20 tons each, designed to fool thieves. Other tunnels and passages were sealed by ancient earthquakes, hiding secrets that may never be revealed. So, more than ancient monuments, the pyramids are real spiritual and architectural laboratories, built over 4,500 years ago with knowledge that still amazes us. Ancient technologies that challenge our official history. Have you ever stopped to think that some technologies developed thousands of years ago are so impressive they challenge what we learn about official history? Behind ruins and ancient artifacts, there are inventions too advanced for their time. Think, for instance, about machines like the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient analog computer made by the Greeks over 2,000 years ago, which calculated astronomical positions with incredible precision. This artifact stayed hidden for a long time because it didn't fit the idea of humanity's linear progress. Another example is the massive blocks used to build temples of solid stone, like those in Baalbek, Lebanon. Some stones weigh up to 1,200 tons and were moved and fitted with a precision modern engineers still try to understand. Ancient technologies also appear in objects like finely crafted glass lenses, elaborate weapons, and even detailed medical knowledge that vanished over time. These discoveries make us question whether the history we know is the only truth or if there is lost ancient knowledge we still need to rediscover. Who really held power in the Middle Ages? The Middle Ages are often remembered as a dark time, full of castles, knights, and blind faith in the church. But behind this scene, who really ruled? Was it just the king? Or were things much more complex and hidden? In reality, power in the Middle Ages was a delicate web full of crossed interests. The Catholic Church was not just a religious institution but a true empire with vast territories, political and economic influence. Priests, bishops, and the Pope held power often greater than kings. Also, feudal nobles controlled entire regions, collecting taxes and maintaining private armies, acting almost like independent leaders. Who paid taxes, who held lands, and who decided alliances was the result of complex power games, marriage alliances, and even blackmail. And the people. Amid this concentrated power, peasants lived under harsh rules, but their resistance and revolts helped shape the fall of this system. Understanding who really ruled in the Middle Ages means realizing power was more shadow and manipulation than the shine of thrones. Hidden secrets of the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution is seen as the great leap to the modern world, with steam engines, factories, and rapidly growing cities. But not everything that happened during that time is in textbooks. Beyond technological advances, there were secrets that forever shaped the economy and society, like the degrading working conditions hidden for years. Workers, including children, faced exhausting hours and unhealthy environments with serious health consequences. Another less told part is the social and economic experiments made to control the growing mass of workers. Systems like unions were born from the struggle against abuse, but the rich and powerful tried to stop these changes for a long time. Also, colonial expansion fueled industrial growth with raw materials and cheap labor, a dark side explaining much of the uneven development in the world today. The Industrial Revolution changed the world, but its hidden side reveals a system often built by those who suffered in silence. Forgotten wars that shaped the world. When we think of historic wars, we always remember big battles like the World Wars or the Crusades. But there are ancient conflicts few know about that had deep impacts on history. For example, the Canchio War, a series of battles between Rome and Carthage, ended up shaping the future of Europe and the Mediterranean. Or local battles of ancient peoples in Central Asia, which influenced the development of trade routes and empires. These small wars, with fewer records and less fame, ended up defining borders, societies, and cultures we know today. Often, their stories were suppressed or minimized by the victors, hiding important facts. Knowing these forgotten wars means understanding that the world as we know it was forged not only by obvious events but also by silent and lesser-known battles. Religions and their unrevealed mysteries. Religions have existed since the dawn of humanity, shaping cultures, laws, and customs. But not everything we know is the whole truth. Many religions carry secrets, hidden rituals, and stories that were adapted or concealed over time. For instance, ancient texts indicate that some sacred rituals were omitted from current versions to keep certain powers restricted to a few. Lost documents and archaeological discoveries point to practices that differ from what is officially taught. Furthermore, ancient connections between distant religions show shared ideas and influences that surprise experts, suggesting human spirituality has always been much more complex than imagined. These religious enigmas raise questions about the true meaning of teachings and the role religion played in social and cultural control. Archaeological discoveries that defy timelines. Archaeology has uncovered many secrets from the past, but every now and then it finds discoveries that challenge our understanding of time and official history. These are objects, structures, and fossils that appear older than they should be, not fitting traditional timelines. One example is stone tools found in geological layers that should be much more recent, or human skeletons with features suggesting a different evolution than what we believe. These discoveries spark heated debates among experts, as they open up the possibility that human history is more complex, with unknown branches. They make us question if we really control what we know about our own past or if there is still much to learn and rewrite. The hidden role of women in ancient history. Much is said about the great men of history, but little is known about the true role of women in ancient civilizations. They were much more influential and active than history books usually show. Women ruled empires, led armies, and served as priestesses with enormous political and spiritual power. In some cultures, they were keepers of secret knowledge and responsible for rituals essential to their community's survival. However, over time, many of these roles were erased or minimized, largely by male-dominated societies rewriting history. Discovering the real role of ancient women is essential to understanding a fairer and more complete history, revealing forces behind humanity's greatest changes. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like.